Tonight we are going to learn about the concept of Shinah, BeTalis, Koton. We know that Medaktikim sleep in a talis Koton. Why is there an Indian to sleep in a talis Koton? Is there a mitzvah? Do they receive a mitzvah for wearing a talis Koton at night? That's what we'll discuss tonight. Let's take a look at the second paragraph where it says Shulchan Aruch Ad Ma'azokin Simi Yud Ches. The Alter Rebbe says in Simi Yud Ches, if Aleph, Laila Lavzman Tzitzis Hu, nighttime is not a time for wearing tzitzis. Shinah, like it says in the Pasuk, Re'isa Moisoi, it's the Gemara Menachis. You shall see the tzitzis, prat, this excludes the Tus Laila at night. Avo Ksus Suma, however, someone is Chmanot Slan blind, Chayiv and Tzitzis, his garments are still Chayiv and Tzitzis, because others can see the garments. It's not dependent whether he can see it, it's dependent whether it can be seen.
Even at night? You're sleeping, nobody can see it.
So it says nighttime is not a time for Tzitzis.
Why should it be why should it be even for Sunnah? Because Urisma said the other people aren't supposed to see it either, because they have the same pasuk. It applies to them, it applies to someone
else. No, but by daytime it can be seen. Even though Summa can't see it by day, he's still Chayiv and Tzitzis, because other people can see the Tzitzis. So the Re'iyah doesn't have to be necessarily that person. The Re'iyah has to be that potentially it could be seen. The time that potentially it could be seen, even if you can't see, but other people could see. So even the Summa B'yoyim can't see, but he's still B'yoyim, he's Chayiv and Tzitzis. Now, Siv Beis. There is a machlokes yishonim between the Rambam and the Rosh. What is the pshat? The Gemara says Re'isa Moisi comes to exclude prat l'ksus laila. It's a machlokes. The pshat, we learn maybe like the Rambam. The Rambam says night and day. Daytime you're chayiv, and since it's nighttime you're part of it, it's very pashut. However, the Rosh came along and learned pshat differently. So the lashon is excluding ksus laila, a night garment. It doesn't say excluding night, a night garment. A garment which you usually wear at night, ksus laila, even if you wear it during the day, you're wearing your pajamas by day, and it has four corners, you can be part from tzitzis because the garment is a night garment. Ksus laila. And on the other hand, if you wear a ksus yoim, a garment which is usually worn by day, you wear it at night, you're going to be chayiv it's midaraisa because a ksus yoim. We go by the ksus.
Whether with the first part of the Shulchan Aruch, why allows not tzitzis? Why would he start going into a different topic? Going to the Rosh, it's like changing the midstream.
Why do you have shalosh and laila, lazan, too? Let's a little bit more mashma the lashon, like the Rambam. Let's take a look in Sif Beis. Yei shoymrim, there are those that say shleimir takasov. The kasov only came to exclude al-ksul she'eni b'riyah b'shas levisha. A ksus which you cannot see when you wear it. L'chein kol mashal levish b'layla, anything you wear at night, afilu ksus amiyuchel yoyim, even if it's a ksus you normally wear during the day, potter. It's the sheet of the Rambam. Anything at night is potter. Avol mashal levish b'yom, anything that you wear by day, afilu ksus amiyuchel layla, even if it's something which you dafka wear usually at night, chayiv l'hata b'titzis koidim shu b'sheno. We go whether or not at the time that you're putting it on, can you see it? At the time of the Levisha, can you see it or can you not see it? If you could see it, it's daytime, you're chayiv. If you can't see it, it's night, you're potter. I don't care what type of garment it is. When you usually wear it or not, it's not negayah. That's the Rambam.
If you have a dark room, the whole day in dark room.
No, potential. Yeah, okay, but we mean potentially that you have, it's night or day. V.A. Shaiman, the Rosh says, the Torah did not come to exclude anything at night, only came to exclude a night garment. she'ois iksusu pater. Afilum loisha b'yayim. If you were during the day and at the time of the levisha you could see it, it's like the Rambam you're chayiv, like the Rosh Pater, because be'etzem aksus laila kivin shuloi nasis eloisha be'eshin l'riyah. This garment was only created to wear it in a time where it's not right to see. So we don't go based on the levisha, the shas levisha. We go based on what was meant for. Was it meant for a time that you could see? Was it meant for a time that you can't see? A garment which is meant for the day, or where it's meant for both night and day. According to the Rosh, even if you wear it by night. Since at the time that it was made for daytime use, or for daytime and nighttime use. It was made for a time that you could see. So you're chayiv, even though b'shas you put it on, you can't see. You should make a brach on it. It was made to wear at a time that you could see. That is the chachlaikas in the Rambam and the Rosh. Who's the halacha like?
Rambam.
It's not clear in the poskim who the halacha is like. We have to mach like both svaras. Not Torah, the chumras of both.
But you don't make a bracha in that.
Can't make a bracha.
Make a rush, go to rush, make a bracha.
So there he explains. What does it mean lahachmir? And then we're going to talk about brachas. Dahainu. Lahat says you're going to be obligated to put on tzitzis in a four-cornered beged. Hamiyuchad l'yoyim, l'yoyim v'layla, afim l'yishav v'layla. Even if you're wearing it at night, but since it's meant for daytime use, according to the Rosh, you're chayiv, so you're going to have to put it on. Even according to the Rambam, you're wearing it at night, it's potter. V'chein, the opposite. Even a ksus which is meant for nighttime, if you're wearing it during the daytime, you should put on a tzitzis. Because according to the Rambam, we look at the time that you put it on. The time that you put it on, the re'isamai, so you could see it. I don't care what it was meant for. The Rosh will tell you you're potter. It's like sus laila b'yoyim, you're potter. But the Rambam says you're chayiv, so you have to be machmer like both shittas. The Mechaber himself in Shulchan Aruch says the names actually, which he usually doesn't say the names of the Rishonim. He usually says Yeshayim, Yeshayim. Here he clearly spells it out. The Rosh and the Rambam, and he leaves it off. There's no clear achra on the Ramah is not machriya. The Poskim, the Shulchan Aruch did not have any clear achra to go this way or that way. By them it was a suffix, and it was a suffix in a mitzvah and a Torah, you have to go look for. When it comes to saying the bracha, even the suffix brachas lahak. When it comes to brachas, we always want to go to the lenient side, not to make the bracha if we have a doubt, because of the strictness of the third loisus and the Torah loisisa Hashem Elokech al Hashem, not saying Hashem's name for in vain. A bracha levatala v'chein leyivarech rakish alevish b'yoyim. Therefore, one should only make a bracha when both opinions agree that you're chayiv. When you're wearing it by daytime, and what are you wearing by day? A ksus hamiyuchal liyayim or hamiyuchal liyayim alayla. Then both opinions agree. It's daytime, and the garment is a ksus meant for daytime use. And both the Ram and the Rosh should be chayiv, then you can make a bracha. In other situations where either you're missing that it's night, or it's day but it's a ksus layla, you're missing one of the conditions. So I'm entering into machlokes, safik brachas lahak. This is the din regarding nighttime. Now, Rabbi say, we know in general you're only chayiv to wear tzitzis if you have a four-cornered beged. If you don't have a four-cornered beged that you're wearing, you're not chayiv. You're also not chayiv it's sitting in your drawer. You're only chayiv if you wear it. But if you're not, as long as you're not wearing it, you don't have to put on tzitzis on it. However, we know that there's this very special inyan to buy tzitzis and wear it, even though I don't have a four-cornered beged. Even though the begadim that we wear are not four-cornered. So people wear tzitzis. And then you have those that wear tzitzis at night as well. Based on the Alter Rebbe, you can see that there's a reason to wear tzitzis at night. If it's a ksus laila, if it's a ksus yoim, if you would be wearing a ksus yoim, balayla yichayev. However, let's say someone's pajamas, even if they be four-cornered, they'd be potter according to both opinions. Because you wear it at night,
Only at night, so you...
and it's meant for night.
What do you mean? He wears it at day during the day too. Unless he's getting up at a list of shach, he's wearing his pajamas in the day too. It's a miyucha for both.
They used to wake up by Alois Hashacha. They used to wake up by Alois Hashacha. They used to say, Ira Hashacha.
Okay, but today the pajamas became Sis Yom V'Layla.
To think about it, what's
Yeah,
Pshat?
only for sick people who are in the hospital, man.
Chas v'shalom.
And their cousin.
Who
You wake
wears
up-
pajamas
Today Alois Shach was 3:40. You were in pajamas at 3:40?
Okay.
You were. I promise.
Yeah.
Now.
340, yes.
Okay, so what do you mean? So what
Rabbi
so
say,
I
therefore,
wear, but the truth is, I wear.
no one has four-corner pajamas.
I
End of story.
wear tzitzis 24/7.
We
I
all
go to
do.
sleep with tzitzis.
that Izal,
We all do.
says, Al Pi Kabbalah, one should wear tzitzis also at night.
Sure.
What?
One should wear tzitzis also at night.
Also,
Al Pi Kabbalah. But then he adds,
Ksus
Kabbalah.
Yom V'Layla? No, but I'm saying, does he want
No.
you to wear Ksus Yom V'Layla?
not
Why
clear.
not?
Al Kabbalah.
Because if you have tzitzis already, so you might as well wear something that you wear Yom V'Layla. Don't make them only for night. That's
Oh.
why you can be Yotzei Deraisa.
Later on, you're going to
According to the
see.
Rosh.
Later on, you see that the Tzemach Tzedek says your word. Now, the Arizal says Al Pi Kabbalah, Kabbalistic reasons, one should wear tzitzis at night. He adds on, not only is it Al Pi Kabbalah, but I'm going to bring you a Gemara, which brings out that you should wear tzitzis at night. What's the Gemara? It's a Gemara Menachos. Interesting Gemara. Tana Rabbanon. This Arizal brought in the Paskin. Chaviv in Yisrael, Yidden are beloved by Hashem. Shesivim on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem surrounded them with mitzvahs. He put tefillin b'rasheim on their heads, tefillin b'zeisem on their arm, tzitzis b'gdeim tzitzis on their clothing, umezuzah pischeim and mezuzah on their doors. They have 7 mitzvahs. Tefillin shel yad shel rosh, 4 corners of the beged is now 5. And that's 6. And mezuzah b'scheim, mezuzah 7. V'alei and Amadav, this is what David was referring to. Sheva b'yoyim yilalticha mishpatei tzikecha. I'm going to praise you 7 times a day with your mitzvahs. How do I praise you 7 times a day with your mitzvahs? With the 7 mitzvahs which you have. Always tefillin, tzitzis, and mezuzah. Because continues on the Gemara. Ubishah shenichas David beis hamerchetz, when David HaMelech entered into the bathhouse. V'ra atzmi oimedarim, he saw himself standing there naked in the bathhouse. Amar, he said, Oy li, woe is to me, she'emet adam b'lei mitzvah. And he's standing here without any mitzvahs. Kivan shenis gemila shebsare, he reminded himself that he has a bris milah. You see, Ashvadaite, he calmed down.
But he's going to the mikveh. The mikveh is a mitzvah.
It was a bathhouse. It was a
Going to
merchez.
bed
After you left the Beis HaMerchetz, Amar Aleh Shira, he said, Shira praised Hashem for giving us the mitzvah milah. Shenemar Lama Natzeach Al Hashminis Midul David, thanking Hashem for the 8th. What's the 8th? Ala Milah, Bris Milah, Shintim Hashminish is given on the 8th day. So he said a special capital to Ilma, Ashir to Hashem, for having the mitzvah milah which constantly connects us to Hashem. Says Arizal, I have a raya from this Gemara that not only a Pi Kabbalah there's reasons to wear tzitzis at night, but according to the Gemara you should wear tzitzis at night. Because what happened with David HaMelech, why did he dafka say in the bathhouse he's aram naked for mitzvahs? At night he used to go to sleep naked. He used to go to sleep underneath their blanket, and that's it. They didn't have a kind of pajamas. It wasn't such a common thing to wear pajamas. So, until recently, that's the way it was. Europe and people, that's how people slept. People used to, families used to sleep under one blanket, families.
Freezing there. They remember that. It's cold.
Now,
It's cold.
blankets. Now, if Why at night? Why did David HaMelech not say at night also, I'm naked for mitzvahs? He was naked. He was naked, but he had no mitzvahs. Says Arizal, 1 minute, he says Arizal, over here you see that it must be he was wearing tzitzis at night. He had tzitzis at night. So therefore he had a mitzvah at night. So here you see that even according to the Gemara, not only Kpi Kabbalah, you should have it at night.
Yeah, but that's a
Comes along the Magen Avraham and says, the Rizal is Divrei Kabbalah, which means his words are words of tradition. So we accept it. But if you ask me logically, I don't understand the proof from the Gemara. Like Rabbi Yosef said, he had a mezuzah. He had a mezuzah in the door, so he had a mitzvah. Just like we see the Gemara said a line earlier that David HaMelech praised Hashem for giving us, surrounding us with 7 mitzvahs a day, the Tefillin Sheyal Shareish in the 4 corners of the tzitzis, and a mezuzah. So David HaMelech had a mezuzah. So that's why he didn't talk about night. He didn't talk about he's in the berachos, a bathhouse, and now I have a mezuzah in a bathhouse. So there was no mezuzah. So that's why. So there's no raya from the Gemara Menachos.
But David had to have. Then we're assuming that he also slept in pajamas because you're not allowed to wear tzitzis and be arum. It's not covered day. Yeah, I mean, kids are Shulchan Aruch says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mice l'chatchila not, but in the Indian.
Or maybe he had like a kind of yes, they went down.
So you could wear. If he had to wear tzitzis at night, so you would wear an undershirt underneath.
It's just,
You wear an undershirt underneath. I call upon him.
I think even with pajamas, we don't wear the tzitzis because why we make B'tilat Yadayim in the morning, attach yourself and on a clear thing. Same thing with, you cannot have a tzitzis when you can touch yourself in
Now, Baisa, regarding this, the Magen Avraham, how the Magen Avraham says he doesn't see any raya from the Rizal. Rabbi Yosef said the Chori had mezuzah anyways at night, so he didn't. There's no raya he needed to wear tzitzis at night not to be arum for mitzvahs. Says the Chsam Soifer is metaretz. The metaretz is the answer. Metaretz Arizal. Some Soifer says that when you sleep, you also don't have a mezuzah on your door, because halacha is
you don't have?
a cheder sheish v'ishta yishayim sham. A cheder, a room that a husband and wife are sleeping, you're not supposed to have a mezuzah. It's not respectful. What?
no, but usually when you close the door, it's on the other side.
So therefore, the halacha, if you have a door, the door to the room, so the room closes, and when you close the door, the mezuzah on the outside, it's not a problem.
Also, it's a kiss.
We still don't do it. We still. If it would be maybe in the inside, you'd have to put a kiss. You would put a kiss potato kiss.
You put something over it.
Your potter. So he says, comes out. So David HaMelech didn't have a mezuzah on that cheder. So therefore, that was that Rizal's raya that he must have been wearing a talis Koton by night.
That's only once. Only B'Shas Mayna. He was sleeping in that cheder.
He didn't have two
rest of the
bedrooms. He
night.
didn't have 2 bedrooms. He had 1 bedroom.
Oh, come on, David, he's a king. He had a king. He had a palace.
But kings have 2 bedrooms? They don't
They have 50 bedrooms.
We're not
They
going
just
He had,
Here, David, look at this palace.
he had
They're uncovered.
18.
He has 4 levels. He has 4
18
floors.
Wives.
Yeah.
So he must have had 18 bedrooms. At
Shleimer.
least a
Listen,
minimum.
No, you think you're mixing up
The
kings.
Melech kept
maybe
himself
an
as an
18
army.
You think you have Shlomo.
Shleimer Melech, yeah. Well, Maisa,
The Melech kept himself like an army.
now Maisa,
It did. It says in Tehillim.
Like the Ruzhana, he kept himself like an army, but he still had a beautiful palace. Go to Yerushalayim, you could see it.
He had torn shoes.
Yeah.
I know.
No, but he had gold
Gold
shoes.
shoes, but torn.
by the way, this Siddur Yavitz that the Yaakov Emden says, that's Roy, the B'Shas, Tashmish, a person should wear tzitzis. That's what the Yavitz said, the Yaakov Emden. Not halacha. He said Roy, I'm sure. So says the Chsam Soifer.
Has that been a
I have now a shtickle raya for that, because the Arizal says you don't want to be naked without a mitzvah, so you have to wear tzitzis. Even b'shas time. Then he goes back and he says,
Well,
no,
they can use
that
a
itself,
mitzvah.
that itself's a mitzvah.
Exactly.
That itself's a mitzvah.
I
A
learned
mitzvah
the whole
oina,
thing.
she'era
That-
ksusa inasa lo yiga. That itself's a mitzvah. So it comes out, there's no raya from there.
I learned something also during that. You're not supposed to wash your hands. A certain couple.
Well, nice that Rabbi
I'll tell
say.
you another myth thing that he's not. I'll tell you another reason why he's not naked by mitzvahs. Because it's sheish mitzvahs tamidius. So even when a person maybe naniach he said, oh, I once asked the shayla. In a basic case, you're not allowed to think of them. In a base of method, you're allowed. So, so what is the arm? He has sheish mitzvahs tamidius.
Good shayla.
And Allah is coming. And if you want to say that in a bad house, not in his bedroom, for sure he does.
The Shulchan Aruch, there are a number of achronim that give their own pshat in this inyan. Also, David HaMelech always had the Sefer Torah with him. He was a king. A king is supposed to always go with the Sefer Torah. So even when I was at night, a Sefer Torah. But some Sefer's answers. You can't have a Sefer Torah and the room cheder ish v'ishti yishenim shel. Now,
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Rabbi say that someone asked the Rebbe. There's a Gemara as a Maisa how someone went into the Midbar in the desert. I don't recall the Maisa, but they saw that the Meisei Midbar. We read about the Chet HaMaragim last Pasha, the Meisei Midbar that were died in the desert. So he saw some of their bodies, and he saw that they had clothing, they had tzitzis on it. So l'chori kivinga raya, they were nifter in their sleep. It says they used to go and dig. They knew that they were going to be nifter, so he said dig their own kvarim and wait in there at night. And in the morning, a lot of them didn't get up, and some did get up, and they knew that they were going to live now till the next. So the Arizal could have brought a raya from this Gemara that you see even by night when they went into the caver, they were sleeping in the caver. They were wearing tzitzis. Mashali, take a look on the other side. Mashali, if you raya. This that they didn't bring a raya, the Shinah BeTalis Koton in the Meisei Midbar. Why did they bring a raya? From the story the Meisei Midbar, those that died in the Midbar. Ishloimer bekamei fanim, the many fanim, because they found them sleeping in their talis. They found them in their kvarim with their talis koton.
Says that?
Yeah, it was a Meisei in Gemara that someone saw. He went in the desert and saw the Meisei Midbar, saw that and they had talis kotons on. What happened? They went into sleep for the night. Some would get up, some wouldn't get up.
They knew that it might be their farm, right?
Right.
So did they wipe themselves in tafrichim and the talis too?
I think when you put a talus by the mace, I don't have to recall what they passed it. And I had a discussion about it. I don't remember. And they wrapped the person in the talus. Listen to this. Says the Rebbe.
In the Israeli army, if a soldier died, they buried him with a cloth. If it's a religious one, he has a tzitzis, you bury him with a tzitzis. They don't take it out.
Because you're supposed to bury him with whatever he was
No,
wearing.
because of all the blood. They
No,
don't
because of
even
the
make
blood.
it tahara. They don't even-
Shloimer v'kamei fanim. Many answers.
He said that.
Hapashut v'amechuver.
So nice.
The most clear answer. Ki b'zmanam lohoyu talisei talis kotim yichodim. Those days, they didn't have the concept of talis kotim. Those days, people put on tzitzis on four-corner begadim that they wore. That they actually wore. They had a shirt, a coat, a jacket that they actually wore. They put on tzitzis. But they didn't have the concept of going and creating a special garment just for the mitzvah tzitzis. Their clothing they wore anyways, they had tzitzis on. Kiyim tzitzis b'bigdeim shenasai tamid. Now, when someone knows that he might not get up the next morning, the halach is he's supposed to be buried with clothing, with tachrichim. Supposed to be buried with clothing. Now, so they didn't want to go to sleep without clothing. As well, they knew the next morning a lot of them might have to get up and leave, so they wanted to have clothing with them. So they wore their clothing that they were wearing. So their chamelet had on the tzitzis. Not that they dafke wore tzitzis. Their clothing those days were four-corner begadim and had on a tzitzis. They went to sleep with their begadim on because they were not sure what was going to be with them. Even though normally people would sleep naked, but since they were not sure if they were going to pass away, they went to sleep with clothing. And therefore, they had tzitzis on them. But that's not a raya that usually they used to go to sleep with clothing. Usually they didn't go to sleep with any clothing, they were naked and they did not have tzitzis, could be. was just these that were going to sleep and they weren't sure if they're going to wake up this morning. They were wearing their begadim which had on it tzitzis. Also, it was awesome to sleep naked. Usually, people generally those times would sleep arumin. That's the raya from David HaMelech. Now,
So what
what
is it that it says Simlatecha lo balta na'alecha zamer? The clothes did not change, you didn't change it, and you didn't change it. They didn't have two clothes, at night pajama and then, they didn't have that. So how the change? I don't understand. You understand my question?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's pshat. They had different clothing, but
I don't
each
think they-
clothing for itself, only one pair.
I think so. Simlatecha lo balta na'alecha 40 shana. You grew up with the clothes. So this is the opposite. What's
Now, Rabbi say, we saw early on there were two opinions, the Rambam and the Rosh, whether or not, what is Pshat, Ksus Lailas Potter Mitzvah? What does that mean? Does that mean day, you're Chayiv, night, you're Potter, like she to the Rambam, or like she to the Rosh, that when you wear a Ksus Yoim, you're Chayiv, regardless whether you wear it by day or by night, and a Ksus Laila, you're Potter, regardless whether you wear it by night or by day, you're always Potter. It says it's a Tzedek, the opinion of the Rosh, he brings rayas that the opinion of the Rosh is stronger. There's more rayas to the opinion of the Rosh. Therefore, since there are more rayas to the opinion of the Rosh, if someone were to sleep at night in a beged that was miyuched for Yoim and Laila, every night he went to sleep in a beged that was miyuched for night and day, would come out according to the Rosh that you're yoytz in the mitzvah at night. And since the Tzemach Tzedek says that he holds that shita has more weight to it, the Rosh, he brings proof that there's more rayas to the shita of the Rosh. So it comes out that if someone were if someone were to wear go to sleep at night with a talis Koton that was meant for both day and night, would come out that according to the Rosh, you're getting a mitzvah at night. Because you're wearing a ksus yoim at night. According to the Rambam, I don't care, it's nighttime, you're potter. Night is night. It's night, you're potter. According to the Rosh, we don't look at when you're wearing it. We look at what it's meant for. It's meant for day and night. So since it's meant also for day, so therefore you're chayiv. So says it Tzemach Tzedek in Piskei Dinim, this is what he basically was saying earlier. The das of the Rosh is stronger than the das of the Rambam. We're not going to go into it. The Rayis that some other brings. But nafkamina, what's a nafkamina? And a person when he sleeps at night, he should sleep with a talis Koton and have miyuchel yoyim b'layla. She's meant for both day and night. Even she is shloimer, because according to the opinion of the Rosh, Yekayim mitzvah gam b'layla. Yekayim mitzvah also by night. Comes out that Rizal brought a raya from the Gemara Menachos that a person should wear tzitzis at night, and he says also a pikabali should wear tzitzis at night. But Tzemach Tzedek says if you're wearing tzitzis at night, you should make sure to do it in a way that's chayiv according to the Rosh. You want to take along the sheet of the Rosh with you. The sheet of the Rosh is that anytime it's a ksus yoim or a ksus yoim and Laila, it's both meant for both, then you're chayiv even though you wear it at night. Like the sheet of the Rosh. And Tzemach Tzedek says a lot of rayas to the Rosh. Comes out. So not only a Kabbalah, is it a good thing to wear it at night, but I'm yoytze mitzvah according to the Rosh. And Shulchan Aruch says it's not clear who the halacha is like. So I'm yoytze mitzvah by night with the Asa Rosh. And a Kabbalah is the thing to wear it at night. We have to understand what the Arizal meant when he brought a raya from the Gemara Menachos that you should wear a talis Koton at night. What did he mean bring a raya from the Gemara? Did he mean to say that the halacha is like the Rosh? What did he mean to say? Was that case talking about the David HaMelech who wore at night a talis Koton that was miyuchel the Yoim v'Layla? Or the reason meant to bring a raya from the Gemara stand that anytime you wear tzitzis at night is considered like you have a mitzvah, which is hard to understand. That doesn't fit not with the Rosh, not with the Rambam. Is that Rizal saying a whole different, learning the whole sugi differently than the Rishonim? It's a Gemara, Prat L'Ksus Laila. You have either the Rambam or the Rosh's Pshat. So it could be this is what that Rizal meant. That Rizal meant to say the David HaMelech at night. Why didn't he feel that he was naked from mitzvah at night? Because he had a talis Koton that was miyuchad l'yoyim l'layla. So according to the Rosh, he yaitza. And the Rizal had a Gemara Menachas, which he felt was a proof to the Rosh. The fact that David HaMelech did not say he felt naked from mitzvahs at night is a raya that he had a mitzvah at night, a mitzvah tzitzis. So it comes out we have already a number of reasons why you should wear, why is the inyan of wearing tzitzis at night. Another inyan is like this. People want, when you wait, even those people that wear tzitzis by day only, they want to wear it as soon as they get up, right away in the morning. But as soon as you get up, you're not supposed to touch your clothing.
Until you wash your hands.
Until you wash your hands. So it comes out until you wash Nigavaser, part of a few minutes, whatever certain time of the day went by, they didn't have the mitzvah tzitzis. So even the daytime, it wasn't 100% that you had the mitzvah every minute.
Oh, because you couldn't touch them?
Oh, so why can't you put on your tzitzis right as soon as you wake up? So we have here, let's take a look, the Siddur of the Alter Rebbe, Hilchas Atilu Shachris. He says like this.
The Rebbe says that by tefillin, but just because his hands are tummy, you should still be in time with your rice. So this is the rice of.
Yeah, but mitzvah tzitzis, you're not mechuyev unless you have a four-corner beged. You don't have a four-corner beged. You're going to go and take a four-corner beged. Someone's wearing a beged that already has four corners, then you kind of deraisa. Tzitzis is different. Tefillin, you're mechuyev to wear regardless. So if you didn't wash neikavas, you still have to put on tefillin.
It's not the rice.
It's the rice when you put it on. I'm getting a mitzvah deraisa, but I know chiv to go. What happens if I don't wear tzitzis? I'm not wearing a four-corner beged.
But to be always
Very hard to say that
5 seconds early.
It's put on.
The Pa'al Mamish is a very special mitzvah, and it says in Shulchan Aruch that every yid is right that he should wear tzitzis every day.
Right.
Even regardless, he has no chiv to wear the tzitzis.
Right.
It's a special mitzvah. And when times it says when Hashem is angry at the world, when he's upset, then he punishes even for not wearing tzitzis, even though you're not mechuyev to wear tzitzis. But once he's upset, like a mushal, when a person's upset, they're upset. So there's no cheshbin already, sort of like. So there's no cheshbin, even though you're not chayiv, but you should have worn it. So anyways,
Is that the Lashon or it's
that's the Lashon Gemara.
I read it.
The Shas Rish Be'idna. No, Be'idna the Rischa. That manishim even on such a thing.
That's the
Now, let's take a look in the Tilo Shachris to get clear what's din of the Gemara and what's a Kabbalah regarding Negavas. So what are you allowed to touch? Mi shiyashim al busha. Someone who slept in his clothing, like we said, that wasn't always common those days. They used to sleep arumim, but he slept in pajamas. Ma'acha shiyachali shalei nobli yadim v'keim zachus shebegufei shedarkin lihis v'chus loylam. It could be now a person slept with clothing, he didn't touch any private places that are usually always covered. You don't touch private place at night, so your hands are not tummy. Haristam yodav elu yadayim eluk shevis. These yadayim of someone who sleeps with clothing is kosher, because he couldn't stick his hands anywhere while he was sleeping. When you sleep and you don't have any clothing, so you know your hands moved around, so your hands touch your private parts. But if you slept with clothing, it's not shayich. Come on. So therefore, these yidayim are considered kosher lahaska shem brachis. You're allowed to say as soon as you wake up, say Hashem's name with brachis, l'davar divrei Torah, midina talmud and dinah the Gemara. Veitzarich leimer for sure, you're allowed ligav bushav to touch your clothing, koyim l'tilu before you wash your hands. Afa pisha ruach ra sharlam, even though it's the inyan of ruach ra. Out the ruach ra, you want to get rid of the ruach ra that comes on your fingers. You have to wash negavas. But that the Ruach Ra does not stop you from saying Torah and saying brachas and touching your clothing. However, b'zayir and the zayir chminu ma'oid shilahaska Hashem brachas, a person should not mention Hashem's name You shouldn't learn. V'chein for sure, shalei liga malbusham. You shouldn't touch your clothing. V'chein shalei odal amis. A person should walk 4 amis. But oid sheruach hatuma sheid al yadayim. According to the shach, the ruach ra. You shouldn't learn that when you have the ruach ra. The Zohar was more machrim with the ruach ra. Mikol mokim. Kimov and Irim Mikra had a situation occurred. Shein a person doesn't have water lead to the other gimel pam karoi kishmashka layli wakes up at night. Chalil levatim tevat shiyariyim. A person shouldn't mevatel to retire at night and say I'm not going to learn because I cannot go to the well and get water in the middle of the night. He said I'm not going to learn Torah at night. No. Take a little water that you have. Or wipe your hands on anything, a napkin, a towel, something. Wipe your hands. Rak, Yizar, in such a case, a person should be careful. Even in a case where we woke up at night, so we did it to Gemara, he's fine. He was sleeping in pajamas. So it's only the shail of the Zohar. But still in all, the Zohar, we're only going to be mad to you to learn Torah. But don't do anything else. Yizar shall legal eye, don't touch your eye. Lois not your ear. Levachayt not your nose. Look at the mouth. Leva amma. Not to the bris milah. Kimatar lamata. L'tzarech zivug. B'shas tashmush. V'chein yizar shall legal mayim. Techakli. Don't touch your hands inside the water of the keli. V'tamim, you're going to make a tamei. Because she said, if a person should be careful not to touch any food or drink, not to make a tamei. But so when that's the be careful to tell the nashim. The women prepare the food. Also, by a lot of kashrus organizations, tell the stores that if you have yidden working in your stores, and not necessarily are they from and they're working there, employees, they should have them wash negavas in the morning. That the hands shouldn't be tummy.
So you can say with Shem Malchus, you can say Divis and learn.
He doesn't talk about Birchas HaTorah over here. He talks about the Torah, but Pashas, you're right. Also Birchas HaTorah, yeah. If you don't have water. So the Maisa comes out that according to the Zohar, you're not supposed to touch your clothing. You're not supposed to touch your clothing even if you're wearing your pajamas at night. You're not supposed to touch your malbushim. So a person's not going to be able to put on his talis Koton right away until it's Yidayim. So there's another reason that someone at night wears a tzitzit, so he wakes up in the morning, he right away has the mitzvah.
It's another reason also why you wash the hands because of the Ruach Tumah, the Shomer that came back.
That's the Ruach Ra. That's the Ruach Ra.
There's Yodav, Sham Shemas.
Yeah, and then there's the Ruach Ra. Yeah.
What happened if you sleep with gloves?
Inside the Gemara, there's also Ruach Ra. But the Ruach Ra is not a hindrance that one should not be able to learn Torah. She cannot be the Zohar. A person should learn Torah with Ruach Ra, Shari on his Yidayim. But it's Malbushim, he also said you're not supposed to touch your Malbushim. Let's take a look, go back to the beginning, the first line, the first paragraph. It's a piece from the Siddur Alter Rebbe. This only says in the Siddur. The Alter Rebbe in his Siddur, after he wrote a Shulchan Aruch, he published a Siddur. In his Siddur, he not only published a special nusach, a proper nusach harizal, but he also published halachas, instructions, and different halachas in the Siddur. Halachas that were negated to day-to-day life. So he brings Hilchos Tzitzis.
But we don't pass it through a lot of these halachas.
We pass them like the Siddur. We pass them like the Siddur. We all the Siddur is Basra. Halacha Kebasra.
It says no in the Siddur you can allow us to say Birchas HaShachar, Achlei Chatzos. Means after Chatzos HaLayla is not. But according to the Rashash, that's the right time to do it, maybe Chatzos. But we don't do that.
Sometimes we don't do things in the Siddur because we have our minig is not like the Siddur. But if there's no menhagim and it's a machloikis between Shulchan Aruch and the Siddur of Alter Rebbe, we follow the Siddur because he wrote that later on in life. And always the halacha is you always follow later. If a chacham changes his mind later, we follow a second opinion. And The same thing as Bechlal Poskim. When you have a later Posik, the halacha is like the later Posik, not like the earlier Posik. The halacha is that way in Gemara. When you have two Amirayim, the halacha is like a later Amirah, not the earlier Amirah. Halacha Kibasroi. The reason for that being is because the later Amirah saw the words of the earlier Amirah, and after he became, he didn't hold that way. For whatever reason, because he saw all the Amirayim argue, he had rights from Mishnayos and differently. It's halacha Kibasroi.
A lot of things.
Now, it says Amadaktikim, those that are Amadaktikim mitzvahs, Noyegim Lisha BeTalis Koton, they are Noyeg to sleep in BeTalis Koton. Why? And here he gives all the reasons. Kedei Shem Yishar Al Hayoim, if someone sleeps into the day, Layia, meaning after dawn, Layia Aram Beloy Mitzvahs, he shouldn't be Aram without mitzvahs. You're not going to have any mitzvahs. You're going to be sitting there without mitzvahs. He also won't be able to wear it. He won't have to put it on before Netilas Yadayim. That's it. He's going to be over on the Kedushas HaZoyer. The Zoyer says not to touch your clothing before Netilas Yadayim. So if you're wearing it already, you're not going to have this issue. If someone took off the tzitz at night for some reason, and then he put it back on at night, he wasn't wearing it from the daytime straight, there's no issa about toisiv. The din about toisiv, now allowed to be moist if any mitzvah in the Torah. You can't say, oh, I'm going to wear it tzitz at night, I'm adding a mitzvah. You're not supposed to wear it tzitz at night. So there's no shayla about toisiv over here. In a case where you were wearing it by day and you continue wearing it at night, we're not going to say about toisiv because you didn't do any action at night, any kumvaseh. But if you took it off at night for some reason and now you put it back on at night, so it should be a shayla about toisiv. However, we learned that there's an opinion of the Rosh that says that ksus yoim is chay balayla. So since it's tzitzis, you also wear it by day, so it's a ksus yoim. Ma'ach sheishoim sheksus yoim chay balayla. The sheet of the Rosh. So since you have a shita to hold you chayiv at night, it's not considered bal toisiv. And also pi kabbalah yish mitzvah b'levishas talis koton gam b'layla. By the way, if you notice, the Alter Rebbe never mentioned that the reason you should wear it at night is because you could be yoytz of the das harosh by night. That if you wear a ksus, which is for Yom and Laila, since people wear Yom and Laila, Miyuchel Yom and Laila, then you're chayiv it's the night according to the Rosh. He just brings it as a reason why you're not over bal toisiv, that you're not moisif on mitzvahs. But he doesn't say that's the reason why you should do it. That's at Tzemach Tzedek, the grandson of Alter Rebbe said that. He brought up that svara. The Alter Rebbe himself did not say that svara. His svara more had to do with the fact that a person is going to wake up in the morning, he's going to be sitting there without, if you're going to not even sleeping, b'shas you're sleeping past dawn. Today the minig is people don't mamish get up at dawn, so they're sleeping past dawn. So you could be sleeping 2 hours, 3 hours past dawn. All those 3 hours are daytime hours. So you're chayiv in tzitzis, and you're sleeping without tzitzis. And also when you do wake up, you won't have the issue of putting on tzitzis right away when you wake up and being over on the zoyer, that you're not supposed to touch your clothing right when you wake up. And then he adds in a pi kabbalah. So it comes out he had 3 reasons. So Tzedek added a 4th reason, that you have the reason of the Rosh, that's miyuchel yom alayla yichayev alayla. But again, it's only medaktikim. The lashon is the medaktikim have the midig. It's not a chiyuv min adin.
Yeah.
It's not a chiyuv min adin.
Is there an Indian?
Even by yoim, it's not a chiyuv. But by yoim, already Klal Yisrael's noig that way. It's not a medaktikim noigin. It's Klal Yisrael noigin. But by Laila, it's medaktikim or noigin lishin talis koton b'layla. They not only say a story about the Rebbe Rashab. That the Rebbe Rashab, he was a very, very big machmer mitzvahs. A lot of stories about his chumas and mitzvahs. So the Rebbe Rashab wanted to one time make there was a discussion of making there was a discussion. I'm not going into details, but the Rebbe Shah was very, very mahadir b'mitzvahs. So Lamaisa, they say that there's an inyan that the tzitzis that you wear, according to certain opinions, should be fully spread out on the body. Because if sometimes when one wears the tzitzis, they bunch up together, then it's not asher techasaba, you're not covering your entire body. So there are those days that say that since you're able to spread it out, even though it's not spread out, but it's still considered tzitzis. However, there's days that say that no, that you don't say that halacha kala pashut kibashet ami, whatever kol sheyachaliv kibashet ami, and they hold it has to be kibshute, spread out. And that the Alter Rebbe brings down the siddur, you should be machmer like that shita. Asher techas was that when it's spread out, so you have the whole sheer talis. But if it's bunched up, you don't have the sheer talis. So it says that Rebbe Rashab at night, if his talis would bunch up at night, he would wake up and right away fix it.
Wow.
At Kedei Kach, that even by night, he was machmer even by night to even avoid that shita. Yeah. There are some people that yeah.
Asleep, but they know it's not right. That's something they're getting at.
There's a story that one time at Chaim Briskin, the Rebbe Rashab were buying a sefer. I believe it's the Maisa. And there was a whole discussion about the government trying to introduce different changes in Rabbanim, Chinuch, different things. And the Rebbe Rashab stood very, very strong against the suggestions the government was making. So Reb Chaim came over to the Rebbe Rashab and he said, Lubavitcher Rebbe, where is the mocker for this, that you're so stark in the singing? Where does it say such a thing? So the Rebbe Rashab said, right now he doesn't know, but he knows there's a mocker. Because he accustomed himself that everything in his body, everything should be al pi shulchan aruch. So he's very against it, but later on he'll come up with the moker. Right now he knows for sure there's something wrong with it. They had a very big derech eretz between each other. The two had a very big derech eretz for each other. Both Rebbe Rashab and Reb Chaim Brisky were both left. The Agudas Yisrael is not well known today, but was 100 years ago was a very controversial organization in Europe. Baruch Hashem today it's not controversial, but in Europe all the Gedolei Yisrael was split about whether or not they join Agudah, they don't join Agudah. The original meanings of Agudas Yisrael. So the Rebbe Rashab and the Chaim Brisky were also there. But Lamaisa, later on they pulled out for different reasons. They both together pulled out of Agudas Yisrael. It was because they were so machmer what they considered is who can be considered a group as part of Agudas Yisrael. They couldn't, without the Tanoim that they wanted, they weren't able to come in. Even though Be'etzem and they held it was a good idea to unite all class to get this all together, but since they were uniting certain groups that were modern elements, they were concerned that these modern groups would have hashpah on Agudas Yisrael and would have ability to change the shittas of Agudas Yisrael. Even though you should know that the Agudas Yisrael itself did not allow, when the Me'etzes Gedolah Torah didn't allow those modern kihillas to have representation. But still, though, they were concerned that since they are those kihillas are going to be part of Agudas Yisrael, they're going to eventually have hashpah on the mahalach of Agudah. But after the war, a lot of those Gedolah Yisrael changed their mind. And they said here it's a difference, not to change their mind, it's a different situation. In Eretz Yisrael, it's a different situation. A lot of those that were fired against the Agudah said that we should help Agudas Yisrael and we should vote for the party of Agudas Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael. Happens to be that Brisk and Lubavitch still never, in Satmar, certain groups never joined the Agudas Yisrael.